When you're playing the dark side from the line, from either the don't pass or the don't come, it's got that inherent risk of the come out roll. You're susceptible to losing to the 7 or the 11, and it's kind of a bitter pill to swallow. The reward, of course, is that nice flat bet, but what if you want to just bypass that altogether and pick your battle and say, you know what, I would like to bet the 7 against the 4, or the 7 against the 6, or the 7 against the 9. Your choice. Well, we call that a direct lay. The game of craps allows you to do either a direct lay, and in some places, what's called a place to lose bet. In all those cases, you're allowed to bypass the come out roll. You don't get the flat bet. You got to pay a little bit of a tax to get it done, but it's a great way to pick your battle and get that 7 working for you in the way that you want it to work. Let's take a look how that works. I'm John. This is Pro Craps. Let's check out direct lays and place to lose. Dark side lays. So lay bets, and I'm talking about a direct lay on a number, is a tool that we can use. And the way that the direct lays work is kind of the opposite, well, not the opposite. It's kind of a sister play to a don't pass or a don't come. The don't pass, don't come work like a come bet. You got to put a bet out there. It's at risk during the come out phase. So on the don't pass, it's at risk to the 7 or 11 on that phase. When the number is established, though, that bet becomes a favorite. And then you can place odds on it. You can lay odds on that number. The lay bet, the direct lay, lets you bypass the come out piece. You can just say, you know what, screw the come out. I don't want to fight the 7. I'm just going to drop a lay bet right onto a number. And what it does is you get to bypass that come out. And you're really playing what we would call true odds. You're betting just the true odds and getting paid the true odds on the direct lay. However, you got to pay a little bit of a tax. And you probably heard the term VIG before. So you're going to pay a Vigorish or a tax for the right to be able to place direct odds. So you don't really get paid true odds on a lay bet. You put out your lay, you pay a little bit of a tax, and the tax is basically 5% on your winnings. So if you're putting a $40 lay bet on the 4 or the 10, let's say, you're going to win 20. You're paying 5% on that $20 that you win, not 5% on the $40 that you put up there. So that's just kind of the fee, or I call it the tax, basically. So the tax on your winnings, in some casinos, you pay it when you make your bet. So you'll put out, $41 to put a no 4, or $41 to put a no 10. You prepay the Vigorish when you make your bet. Some casinos let you just make the lay, and they'll take that dollar out of your winnings. And they may say, drop me $1 or drop me 2 or whatever it is for your VIG as you get paid. So it just depends on the casino. And further to that, some casinos have you pay the VIG ahead of time and you don't get it back if you pull the lay bet down. A lot of times I'll do a lay bet to protect something else for a 1 roll, which I'll prepay the VIG. And then when I say take my lay bet down, you get back that commission. So 41 no 4, if you say take it down, they give you back $41. Some casinos you'll do a 41 no 4, you say take it down, you only get back your 40. So they keep the buck. So that's a brutal practice by some casinos. If you're in a casino that does that, honest to God, and you won't know this sometimes because they don't advertise it, obviously. If you get to a table and you do, like, let's say a 41 no 4, and you say pull the lay bet down, and they keep your dollar, get the hell out of there, because that's not all they're screwing you on. That's a complete screw job. And if they're doing that to you, you got to run, because they're doing other things you don't want to be a part of. So I wouldn't give that casino one more red cent of my money. But know that that's a thing. With the VIG on these lay bets, they sometimes will take it ahead of time. Sometimes they'll keep it forever. Sometimes you get it back. Sometimes you pay that VIG on the payout. So know that it's coming, okay? One of the things with the VIG to remember is the way that they calculate that. And for you to remember, it's easy. It's 5% tax. Basically, it's $1 per 20. So if you're going to win $20, it's going to cost you $1. As soon as you get to 40, it's going to cost you a second $1. Some casinos will round up when you're winning 30 or more. They may round up to the next one, but basically it's $1 per 20. Remember that. You'll never go wrong in thinking about how the dark side lays work. So that's the lay bet. The second bet I want to talk about that's very similar, which we don't see a lot here in the US, is this one. It's called a place to lose bet. And you may or may not, you can leave me a note here in the comments if you've heard of a place to lose bet. And a place to lose bet, you see them in Europe, Australia, the UK has these. Now we see these things in roll to win tables. And I noticed this once and I'm like, what the hell's that? And then I saw it on a second roll to win. And it seems like the roll to win tables, which are really aimed at low rollers or low buy-ins, or usually $5 minimums, have this bet called place to lose on it. And the way the place to lose bet works is it's just like a lay. The payouts are different. There's no vig. So place to lose bet is a direct, I'm placing the 7 or the 6 to lose. And there's no vig. You see the payout chart here, right? A place to lose 6 or 8 pays 4 to 5. So you drop $5, you get 4 back. If you're placing to lose at 5 or 9, you do it in increments of $8, you win 5, 4 and 10, increments of $11, you get 5 back. So the place to lose bet is an interesting bet. It's not always, I think the Wizard of Odds did a evaluation of this. I think the 5 and 9 and the 6 and 8 are better payouts on place to lose versus the 4 and 10. But on a game like roll to win, you don't have to bet in these increments. Like at a regular table, you'll never see this at a regular craps table. On roll to win though, you can actually drop $5 on the place to lose 6 or 8, or $5 place to lose in the 4 and 10. And you can actually go across with place to lose bets and just drop them out there, $5 level. The roll to win tables pay you exact to the penny. So you don't have to bet $11. You can bet 5 and win $2.75 coming back, because those machines pay you to the cent, which is really cool. So it's an interesting way to play an alternative to a lay bet without having to deal with all the odds calculations, because your direct lays have to be placed with exact odds payments. You've got to do, your 6 and 8, you got to lay bet those in increments of $6, just like you would for a regular lay on a don't pass. With the place to lose, any amount works as long as you're within the spectrum of these payout ratios, or on roll to win, any amount will work. So anyway, I think it's pretty cool. I wanted to show you that today because you may run into this at a roll to win table and not know what that is. Place to lose is just a lay bet with different payout schedules. Something interesting about them, you can press them just like a regular place bet. You can also turn them off. So I'll show you today, when I play lay bets, you can't turn a lay bet off. Lay bets, you got to pull them down. You can't turn them off, which makes work for the dealer. A place to lose bet is a place bet, just a place bet on the 7. You can turn them off, turn them on, press them up, regress them down. They're just like regular place bets. It's a really interesting and flexible way to bet, I think, on the dark side. And it's one that's, again, in the US, we just don't see it very often, but I think it's a cool thing. And again, if you run into a roll to win table, this might not be a bad way to kind of limp into a session and do some place to lose. So that's a little overview on lay bets, place to lose, and how those mechanics kind of work. So interesting stuff. Let's go to the table, and I'm going to just kind of lay some bets out there, show you how to work it, and how we talk to the dealers about these things. All right, so with lay bets, and again, I'm going to do this as though I was in Vegas. And I know that here in my home state of Washington, my casinos are the take the vig on the win style. So for me, I can say something like, I can just drop out $40 and say no 10, please. And $40 on the no 10, they put a lay bet right up here in the back section, and they'll heel it off so that you know that it's a lay bet for you. And they will almost always drop a lammer on here that says lay, like so. And the lay bet lammer tells the dealer, and you know how they do the switch thing, that's a lay bet and that's not a flat bet with odds, because they pay a little differently. And when this comes down and gets paid, this technically pays 19. So let's say you roll a 7 here, this bet, they'll leave it up, but it pays 19. The dealer will always say to you, drop me $1. And they'll ask me for $1, and then I'll get paid 20 back. So you're gonna have a bunch of whites in here to pay your vig after the win, or they'll just pay you $19. Either way, you can just say, just pay me the 19, and they'll drop you $19. So that's a way to kind of work that bet. But you're gonna tell them, generally speaking, you're gonna drop your money in the come box, or if you're at the end, drop in the don't, and ask your dealer for whatever the dollar amount is, and you can say no to the number. For example, if I was gonna do a $30 lay bet directly on the 5, I drop in 30, and I would say $30, no 5, please. Or I would just drop it in and say no 5. And they would know to come up here, heel it off, drop your lay lammer on there, and you're good to go. So that's your communication with your dealers, is to say no and whatever the number is along with your bet, and ensure that it goes back there and then you get the right lammer on it. Make sure to put a lay bet lammer on it. And that's going to be a thing that you'll see constantly. Now, if your house requires that you prepay your vig, you're going to have to do it like this. I'll put the ones out here. Now, let's look at the 6, for example. That's where I am. That 6 is going to pay a quarter, right? 30 pays 25 on a lay bet. Your vig on this is going to be $1. So you're likely going to have to say 31, no 6. So drop it in here to say no 6, please. And they'll know. They're going to drop you 30 bucks on the lay. They'll take your buck back. Later, if you want this bet back, you say, take me down on that lay, please. And they'll take the lammer off, give you back your money, and oftentimes your dollar vig comes back to you, like I said before. Some casinos will keep this, okay? If you do this, if you say 31, no 6, right? They take your buck, they put the lay lammer up, and you say, down on my lay bet, please, and they bring your lay back, and they keep your dollar, the next thing you have to say out loud is color me up, and drop all your chips in the middle and get colored up. Get out of that casino, because that right there is a pig move by the casino. Run away, because I bet you that casino also is paying 34-1 in here. They're not paying you actual, even this is crap. Payment 32-1. If they're giving you a 34-1 instead of 31-1 or 29-1, get out. That's just my personal advice to you. So notice or know that those lays are going to require a vig. So when I do it today, I'll pay the vigs up front as we go here. And you're going to find if you do complex lays, it gets to be kind of a pain in the butt. So I'm going to show you 2 things here with lay bets today that I think are interesting plays that we're going to explore. So one is going to be this idea of, we've been talking about the don't pass for quite a bit. And you've got the situation where you've got, let's say, a don't pass bet of 25 bucks that you want to get out, right? And the puck is off. You'd like to get a number set. One of the things we've talked about as a way to kind of help this bet get through was to bet, let's say, the any 7. You can bet the any 7. You can put 5 bucks on the any 7, right? Actually, you'd probably put, let's say, 10 bucks on the any 7 to win 40. You could do multiple hop bets on the 7. Maybe you'll do hop in the 7s for 3 bucks each to save this bet. But those bets go away. That's a hop, right? If I put, a $10 hopping any 7 or $15 on the 3-way 7, either way, that money goes away after the point gets established. And that's kind of a bummer to lose money every time you're coming out. So an option that we can explore, and I did this option the other day, and I want to re-explain it, is to use a lay bet up here for a short term to save that number. You got lots of options up here to save this against the 7. One option is a simple one. We'll lay the 9. Lay the 9. I do this all the time. Lay the 9 for 60 bucks. 60 pays 40. If the 7 rolls on the come out, you get paid 40, you lose 25. All's right with the world. That's actually not a bad bet. The 5 works the same way. One of our subscribers, Skill and Luck, Dylan, loves to lay the 5 and the 9. I think he likes the 9 more because of the dice that he uses avoids the 9 on the come out. And that's actually a pretty solid way to do it. If you can control your dice in such a way that you can avoid a number up here, right? That's awesome. So this bet, this $60 bet, is going to pay 40. Remember, that pays 3 to 2 is the odds here. You're going to get paid 2 to 3. So because that pays 40, the vig on that is $2. So it's actually got to be 62. So when you ask for this bet, you're going to say, no 9, please. They're going to drop the $60 lay and take your $2 vig. That potentially pays you back 40. If a 7 comes out, you'd lose the quarter. You'd get paid 40. You can replace your don't pass and you can rack up a little bit of a profit. I like to, when I hedge for profit. You know this. That's a way to use that to get that bet out. Now, Another option here is to bypass this altogether. You can leave this off. I'll leave these chips in my hand. Puck is off. Let's get a number. Doesn't matter what it is. It's a 9. Okay, so we're on the 9. And let's say you want to play the 2 don't comes. You can do a don't come for 25 bucks. And I have a subscriber who likes to play this way, where as he's coming through the don't come, what he does, again, bypass the come out here. You're facing a come out here. So what he does is he actually lays the point. Whatever the point was, he lays it. So we're going to go again. We'll say a 62, right? Lay the 9, please, or no 9, please. However you want to say that. They'll heel it off. They'll take your $2. They'll put the lay lammer on there, and he lays the point for 1 roll. He'll also drop $2 on the 11. Now, he likes to hedge that. I wouldn't necessarily do the 11 hedge, but I just want to show it to you. This is a way to get this bet out in real time, and you're hoping for a no repeat. So again, gambler's fallacy comes into play a little bit here. You're saying we're not going to get a number and a repeat immediately, right? He's only facing the 9, not the 7. Here we're using a lay bet as a hedge to save another number on the way out. And of course we get a 6. This can travel to the 6, and then we say, take me down on that 9. They'll take your lammer, they'll bring your chips back, and hopefully your Vigorish comes back to you as well. And now you're out on a point of 6 for the 7, and you can take another quarter and come in. And once again, your next don't come bet, let's just get another one set here. I'll show you how it works. That's going to be a hard 6, which is unfortunate. I rolled that over. But you were safe against the 7 on that come through roll here. So that's a way to use a lay bet as a means of protecting other stuff. You use the lay bet to protect a don't come, or a lay bet to protect your initial come out roll. It's a nice tool to use for that. You don't see a lot of strategies where folks do direct lays as part of the way they just normally play. You're putting a lot of money out there to do it. However, one of my favorite strategies, and from one of my favorite YouTubers, Uncle Angelo, is a strategy called the traveling lay, which if you haven't seen it, I'm going to show it to you. It's pretty fun to play this strategy. And what we'll do, I'm going to actually clean my rack up a little bit here. And this strategy works essentially the same way that you just saw, where we're going to chase the point or chase the number that just rolled. And the concept is you're not going to see a repeat. Repeats happen, of course, but you don't see them terribly often. What we're going to do is we're going to take $120. So I'll show you how this works. We're going to take 4 cracks at it. 4 $30 bets, like so. We know that 30 always works on lay bets. We talked about this in our odds segment. So we're going to take 4 cracks at $30, and check this out. I'll use my I'll bring some whites over here so we have them for the vig. Let's get a come out point. Let me zoom in or zoom out a little bit so you can see how this works I want you to see the dice rolling actually. So let's go ahead, wide view here. And let me roll this out. We'll get a new point established. It'll be a 5. All right, so the 5 comes up. And what we do, we're going to start with a $30 lay. You're going to say no 5 with your $1. So it's a $1 vig because that wins 30 wins 20. We're going to come back up here with our lay bet. Okay? They're taking the vig. I'll put the vigs up here so you can see it. What we do now is we roll again. And again, you're hoping that the person doesn't do a direct repeat. Whatever the next number rolls to, we're going to move our lay bet to that number. Now, of course, I rolled a 5, so we do get the repeat and get burned on the first one. We'll do it again, though. That's fine. We'll get a new point. Be a 6. We're going to come out with a lay 6. So again, 31, no 6, please. We're going to drop it up there. They'll take our vig, put the lay lammer up, rolling out again. Just avoid the repeat. So it's an 8. So they didn't get this one. Now we say, move my lay to the 8, please. And you're going to increase it. You're going to increase it by another $30. So you have to drop another $1. Move it to the 8. So it looks like this now. You're going to move your lay bet to the 8. 60 is going to pay 50. And now we roll again. And you're looking again not to repeat the 8. You're just going to kind of follow the last one that came out. You're laddering yourself. There's a 9. So now you're going to drop another 31 because, again, that's going to win you 20. Move me to the 9, please. And now you're going to lay the 9. With that, now you have $90 laying on the 9. Your third vig is out. Rolling again. Just trying to avoid a repeat. And boy, oh boy, don't you love how I roll the dice? Repeat the 9, we ended up losing it. So that ended up being an example where we got whacked on it, but let's do it again. Fun strategy to play out. And what we can actually do if you want to, I think I have enough money here to do it. I can show you the come out gambit. I'm going to put these here as well. We can lay the back wall on the come out, and I'll do that here for 200. I'll show you how this works. Let me get some more money out of my rack because it's kind of fun to talk about the lay bets all at once. And what I do, I lay the back wall here for 200 on the come out. And when you lay the back wall for 200 on the come out, this is, again, you're attacking the 7 here on a random shooter, or if you got a set that works. And it's basically $30 on the 5, 6, 8, and 9, and $40 on the 4 and 10. It pays $130 in the end, right? These each pay, 40 pays 20, 5 and 9 pay 20, so that's 40, 80, and the 6 and 8 pay 25 each. So another 50 makes 130. Each of these bets is going to carry $1 vig. So when you lay this out there, you're going to have to put out $6 in advance for vig and let them take that from you. And that's a good, fun come out sequence. Once this is done, I'll pull them all down. So this is going to be a lot of work for your dealers. This might be a case where you give your dealers a whole pile of cash, but let's come out on that. And we get a 437 on the come out. So this actually works out perfectly. That pays 130. Now, the first time I ran this at a casino, they did this. They actually went ahead and paid me every single one of them. The guy went 20 and 20, and he gave me 2 quarters in here. They paid every single bet separate like this. And I asked the box man, I said, hey, I'm going to be running this all the time. Is it okay with you if we add this up right now and you pay me in color? So they went 50 and they colored it all. There's a quarter, there's a quarter, there's 100, and there's your $30. So the first time they paid me like this, every time after that, because we had kind of trained them up on how the strategy works, I started getting paid 130 in color every time this happened. So it took once to get it through. And that's kind of a nice little spiff when you get this to pay out on the come out roll like we just did. That's a great little drop it in your rack kind of profit. And in fact, if you're a right side better, this 130 turns into 110 inside on the next point. So you actually kind of paid for it. So let's come out again here with that same back wall lay. Get an actual number established and we'll get rolling. So the number is going to be 10. And what I'll say here is take my lay bets down, okay? So lay bets all come down. Remove this. This is where your dealer's going to hate you a little bit, right? They all come down, and I'm going to put the 10 right back up because the point is going to be 10 here with that dice roll. Lay the 10, 41, no 10. I'll drop them another buck. Get my whites back over here. Another buck for vig, 41, no 10. The rest of this comes back to the rack. Our rack's kind of a mess today. And we roll. And again, we're looking for a non-repeating number. The traveling lay, the Uncle Angelo traveling lay. There's a 426. So I will drop another 30 bucks. And I'll say, move that to the 6, please. I'll say make it a $30 no 6. So they're going to move this here. They'll have to do a little bit of maneuvering because I had 40 bucks on the 10. Okay. Now it's a $30 no 6, or $60 no 6 rather. Drop the other vig. And again, we're rolling now for a 7 and not a repeat of the 6. That's the thing that kills you here. There's the 1, 2, 3. Shocker. There's a 1, 4, 5. Now, on the horn numbers, I leave it where it is. Angelo says move to the ends. I just leave it where it was and ignore it. Now we're going to drop another 30 and 1 for vig and say move me to the 5, please. Now we're going to go press up your lay bet and go to the 5 with it. Now there's 90 bucks laying on the 5. 90 to win 60. Your vig is active. Let's get that 7. 5, 3, 8. Drop another 30 bucks. 31 actually. And say, press that up and lay the 8. Now you're gonna go to the 8. Now you're at 120 on the 8. 120 is the highest we're gonna go. We'll go 4 levels up and just kind of know what you're gonna get paid. The 120 is gonna pay the 100 here coming back through. Here we go. There's the 11. Now again, Angelo says on the horn number, you can move this to one of the ends. That's fine, we can do that. It doesn't really matter to me. I would rather leave it where it was, I think, but to play it the way he does it, we'll just do that. Now it's a 6, move me to the 6, and your dealer is hating you right now because you're moving around so much, but at the end of the day, it's kind of a cool strategy. There's the 5, 2, 7, okay? So the 120 here is gonna pay us a nice fat black chip. We can rack that black, pull the lay bet down, and now we have played the traveling lay from Uncle Angelo to its completion. Pretty cool, right? A little bit of come out, lay the back wall for an easy 7 win. A little bit of traveling lay there, right? Shooter made 3 or 4 numbers. The 7's coming, you know it. You can avoid that repeat. That lay bet's actually kind of fun to make. And we also use the lay bet as a way to sort of hedge or protect ourselves on the way out on a don't come gambit. And again, I'll demonstrate that one more time just so you can see how that worked. New point here will be a 9. And again, I'll do at this level, what I would probably do is a $40 lay. So I'll take 40 bucks, or sorry, 60 bucks to win 40. So it's gonna cost you 2 in vig. So you're gonna say no 9. So $60 laying on the 9, $2 vig, mark the lammer, and come through the don't come with a $25 bet. At this point, nobody cares about the 7, right? If the 7 comes, you're gonna win 40, lose 25, net 15. If the 11 comes, sure, you lose that one. If the 9 comes, we're in trouble. That's the only thing we care about is the 9. So we're gonna lay on the point. We'll get a don't come established. That's gonna move to the 6, just like last time. I can remove my lay bet, say down on my lay 9, please. They'll give you back your bet and your vig, you hope. Comes back to your rack. Now you can put a second don't come bet through. Because again, the don't come bet is, it is vulnerable to the 7. This is a bet on the 7. So this bet's safe because that bet saves it. So we're in good shape here. This is a nice little way to get 2 don't come bets set at relatively no risk, okay? 5, 4, 9. We go to the 9. The puck is off. And when you do this kind of thing, look what we have here. We've got the back wall halfway laid, right? Halfway laid on the back wall. We can do another come out roll here. And if we whack the 7 on the come out, the nice thing about those bets, they pay direct. They pay 1-to-1. That's a power bet. Okay, 3, 1, 4. And again, using our lay bet to get these bets out there safely, that's cool. Point is hit, no big deal. Let's come back out here. And again, come out 7. Good for us. Wins $50 if we can make it happen. Point's going to be a hard 8. 4, 4, square pair, hard 8. Here we go. Roll for that 7. There's a yo. There it is. She is. 6, 1, 7. Those 2 DC bets come down. They get paid. And back to the rack we go. Now, I was not keeping good track of my rack this morning, so obviously I have to recalculate what we did here. I was really just pulling money from everywhere to try to show you the bets. I can't call this profit. However, we did just make 50. We did make 130 on that one come out. And we did make, what was the last one that we made? We made, geez, what was that? We made 20? No, we made 80 bucks, right? We made, I forget what we made on those 2, that last session. I think we did, I want to say we did I think we just did the 40. I think that's right. So we had a $50 win, a $40 win, and a $130 win. We did lose the one time on the lay 6, right? So we lost once decently. We had 3, I think this one win was 40 bucks. 3 okay little wins in there just during that short demonstration, right? I think this shows you a couple of things. I'm going to come back over here and talk about it. This shows us the power of the 7. That 7 comes all the damn time, and it comes really fast. So you can see here, just in this short little demo, we had a come out 7, we had 1 point get hit, but a bunch of other points not get hit. And you can really see just how having different activity on the 7, makes it fun. I think the traveling lay is kind of a fun play because you are involved in the game a little bit. The dealers may not love that so much, but it is definitely a little bit of fun. But the 7 is coming, and you're always trying to find ways to kind of get action on it and chase it around. That's a pretty fun way to play. So, well, that was a short but hopefully instructive little rollout there. I think the lay bets are fun to me. They're less fun when you're using them as a hedge, or less fun when it's just you're dropping a lay bet out there and waiting for the 7. I really love the traveling lay because it keeps you involved. It's kind of got some motion to it. You're interacting with the dealers a little bit, even if they get a little bit pissy with all the motion. And I really love that backwall lay as an outright attack on that come out 7. All good ways to play, along with the flat bet and the odds on the flat bets if you get them through. But it's not the only way to play. We can explore, and we will explore here next, hopping bets, one roll bets that really attack the 7. High risk, high reward. Join me in our next video here. We're going to learn how to hop the reds for profit. I'm John. This is ProCraps. I'll see you in the next one.